Hello, everyone. I just want to say something real quickly. I know that some of my videos, because I have so much going on, and so I just say a lot of things. You gotta, sometimes you just gotta listen to it all and, take out the pieces that you can. This has been a work, and what happens within is not easy to put back out, especially when it's just so much you consider the offense that you will be to some. you know, um, you have to be made able within and then to put it back out. And as the work wasn't done myself in me, it wasn't my work. The same, when it's right, it will rightly come out. I am, spirit willing, flesh is weak. I can't do what the spirit done within me until I'm made fully ready. And I mean, there's just so much, you know, And the thing was at the beginning, I knew that anything when it says, and I'm not saying this against any in particular, right? That it has nothing to do with anything that I've just said in my video before. Um, the one I just posted, it's not even posted yet, but I knew, when I began to speak, that you heard this one, all these the little pieces they reply, but it would they comment in an agreement, but it's those things that they couldn't agree, so there would be no reply to certain things because they could not reply. And it speaks of not casting pearls before swine. And I want to look back to see what is being spoken, so I can put it in the right context of what you were supposed to receive from the letter, from the understanding that the carnal should receive from that. But in a sense, what I knew that so much what I would put out, it is those who are filled. If there's a difference between those who've been purged within, they're not looking through carnal indoctrination. They're not trying to fit in these morsels of truth with carnal indoctrination, with what they're filled at. They have been emptied first. It is those, in a sense, what I'm calling, referring to swine, is those who are filled up on everything. What does swine do? They consume everything, and they're filled up. And then when you give them a pearl, they use it, and then they try to explain what you've said through, they've tainted it through that, all of that carnal that is filled up in them. And they, it's, I'm going to speak clearly on all these things. It's not wanting to offend, but maybe it's how do you say these things without offending. But, like I said, I'm not here to please. I've pleased man my whole life. I've bent over backwards for those who, you know, I'm not holding back. And I do not mean to, like, if I use an example, I'm going to try to do examples through where it's not pointing anyone out. It's just, I am still so full, and I don't, until the work's totally done in me to make me able to put these things out rightly. But, right now I got to run to the bank and open another account, and I'm going to speak on this. I'm going to keep this. I'm going to make a note, and I'm going to try to speak this rightly concerning the swine and what they do. They can't reply. And I'm not calling anyone a swine, because when I see someone trying, you know, to, but here's what I see in some haven't been able to answer to some of the things, but now they're, I don't know how to say it. Like I've seen here, just put it this way, even when I knew what they would do with it, even from the beginning, I knew if I was to speak, these who could not respond to many things I'm saying, with the parts they could try to taint, they would take in, and I knew they'd try to mix it. I didn't want to give them anything. I did not want to give them the treasures just for them to taint them. That's another reason it was so hard for me to speak, because I knew what certain ones would do. But then again, there was a part of me that knew they're just going to taint it, but it's not going to, they're not going to produce anything from it.